So when I see the thing up in the viewfinder, it means it's shooting?
Yeah, actually there's an REC in the middle for a record, or an STBY for standby. The thing is,
I can't read it.
You can't read it, yeah.
Well, it's doing something. Now it's recording.
There you go.
Mommy, you have to watch this.
That's one of our kids.
They're both coming.
I spotted one. Oh yeah. Kevin's back further, I think. I guess you can tell the brothers. Yeah, that help you?
No, but I know I'm shooting them, so don't let it in.
Sean, you look amazing.
Hello. Nice water, isn't it?
Way
That was my bad.
How far out you go?
Pretty far.
Really, it's so hot, this water by the edge of the ocean is warmer than the pool, and when you get in further, it kind of starts to cool off. Yeah.
You want to take it, Dad? It's still running. Soda here, water.
Caught my left
Water's pretty warm, isn't it?
Come on, pal. Go. Ah, jeez, not on me.
There's my guys out walking in the ocean. Dad in his white t-shirt. 2 kids with him. Oops. Little jerky. I think the sun's going to get too bright now to turn too far. There's the island and the sandbar that connects it. And there's the beach going that direction. There's some cute guys.
And all the nails are made to replicas of the nails at the time, but most of the fastenings are pins, oak pins that go into both timbers. It's just a fascinating job. Anyway, from here I come back up here to the lighthouse. You go right out this road here. Lighthouse is a great exhibit for, tells you how a Fresnel lens, which happens to be in the window right behind you, can throw a 40-watt light bulb, can throw light 15 to 18 miles out to the horizon because of the Fresnel lens. That's actual reproduction of the light at Nantucket. If you ever see pictures of Nantucket, you'll see sailboats, catboats, and that light in almost every picture. This is the Joseph Conrad, Danish training vessel. 1905, it was cut in half in the Copenhagen harbor by a French freighter. There was a full complement of cadets, naval cadets on the boat, and their parents were waiting to see them come back. 22 of the cadets were lost. The boat was raised because it's steel, and been working ever since. Going down here, you see the mast over there just above the green?
Yes.
That's the L.A. Dutton. L.A. Dutton is a Grand Bank schooner. Grand Banks are off the coast of Massachusetts and Maine, going up that way. Probably the best fishery in the entire world. It's been overfished terribly now, but it's still a very fine fishery. This boat was built in 1920 in Boston, sailed out of Boston and Gloucester. They would go out to the Grand Banks, and even though you're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, the water is only 50 feet deep on these banks, and all of the fish would go there. They would spawn there, they would go up there, and then the predator chain comes right in and picks them all up, so that bigger and bigger fish would find their way there. They would drop an anchor, put the guys overboard, and a 14-foot door. You'll see that door on the deck. 2,000 baits, 2,000 hooks, tow the fish all day, and hopefully at the end of the day not catch too many fish that they sink or that they can't find their way back to the boat. Between 1840 and 1880, an average of over 550 sailors were lost from Gloucester every single year. So you talk about, you ever watch Deadliest Catch on TV?
No.
Love the show. It wasn't nearly as deadly as this was. Anyway, these are all shops in here. You can, there's an advertising on the side of this building. At the tavern, you can buy a 5-cent beer. You can't buy a 5-cent beer, but you can buy a beer. Bank, apothecary, hoop shop. Those hoops around the bottom of the mast there, they were made right here. Other shops, candle shop, the smithy shop, the carving shop, the barrel shop, all located here. This is a chapel, the schoolhouse, general store over here. These buildings, by the way, are air conditioned, so when it gets too warm to be walking around out here, you go visit them for a while. First 2 floors, lots of maritime artifacts and lots of videos on the fishing industry, the whaling industry, and the shipping industry. 47 is my very favorite. It's figureheads, darkened building, beautifully painted and lit figureheads in there, and also air conditioning. Great art exhibits in here, small boat exhibits here. The planetarium's here. Next show is at 2 o'clock if you want to take a planetarium in. Lots and lots of stuff, more small boats here. This unusual building is where they made rope. Back and forth, the long legs of rope. Lots and lots of stuff to see in every building. If you find something you're interested in and want to learn more about, come on back here and I'll point you in the right direction.
Okay,
All right,
great.
thank you.
Okay?
Thank
Have a great
you.
time. Thanks for coming.
Chainsaw.
These boards shrunk, and we had to, is wood, but you needed, the technique was to use metal at the ends of the planks. And for the knees, they would use these, put a washer on here to hold that in place. This was wood, fire damage. This was actually pulled off the board and fired up here. Two very stupid sailors put the ship on fire in the middle of the ocean. I'm sure they were severely reprimanded, punished, whipped, whatever. But this piece, they could see that this thing needed replacing, so let's just have that as a demonstration piece. Show everybody what we need. You're welcome. Any questions on anything or what you're looking at out here? You want to point on this model? What are you looking at? Okay. This is the bowsprit. You know what a bowsprit is? This square piece that shovels in against it. If not, this is the piece right here. That piece right there is what he's going to make that piece of wood. The next piece, the next big piece, that came from...
This is the rope house. Takes a long ways to get to the end of your rope. Let's see. You got the end of your rope yet? I think so. And rope.
We're bound for Ryle.
Oh, hello. Welcome to the lighthouse. You're standing in a full-size replica of Nantucket's Bright Point Light. Cozy, isn't it? Why so small? Come with me. 250 years ago, sailors didn't have GPS devices. Getting into harbor while avoiding sandbars was like navigating an obstacle course. So, the people of Nantucket built the nation's second lighthouse. It didn't need to be seen from far away, so they kept it small. Which was lucky, because fire, wind, and water took a toll. This lighthouse has been rebuilt 8 times, a national record. And while we're talking records, check these out. First lighthouse in recorded history, Alexandria, Egypt. It stood more than 400 feet tall. Our nation's first lighthouse, Boston Light. The West Coast pioneer, Alcatraz Island Light and foggy San Francisco Bay. Earliest lighthouse to go electric, the Statue of Liberty. Last manned lighthouse built in America, Charleston, South Carolina. Also, the only one with an elevator. And country with the most lighthouses, the United States. Why all the shapes and sizes? Each site had its own challenges. From mud, sand, ice, rocks, and offshore reefs, to budgets and building materials. If you need a short-range beacon to guide ships into harbor, a small tower and light work fine. But to signal ships further off the coast, a tall tower and bright beacon are just the thing. Rising 201 feet, Cape Hatteras Light is our nation's tallest lighthouse. Wondering why it looks like a giant barber's pole? Daymarks helps sailors identify lighthouses. Remember, it's all about navigation. Innovation didn't stop with the buildings. The first fog signal was a cannon at Boston Light. If the fog didn't lift, the keeper had to keep firing every half hour, sometimes for days on end. Fortunately, technology advanced, and fog bells were connected to a clockwork-style system that only needed winding every few hours. Blading technology took a big leap forward too. Early lighthouses usually depended on a simple whale oil lamp whose light was intensified by silvered reflectors. Then, the revolution, the Fresnel lens. Incredibly bright and more fuel efficient to boot, it debuted in America in 1841. Fresnel lenses came in different sizes. Huge first-order lights were designed to be seen many miles at sea. Smaller sixth-order lenses were built for short-range navigation. And, in case you're wondering, the light above your head is a fourth-order light. Its range is about 10 miles. Since 1716, lighthouses along American waterways have helped ships get where they needed to go, supporting trade and saving untold lives. So, next time you see a lighthouse, give it a good look. And remember, it's more than a pretty place. It's there because it has a job to do.
This building used to be 3 times the length you see it today due to the fact that it was too long.
Catboat. Metal, Buzzards Bay. Which morning?
This one has a Sears and Roebuck motor. Motor. It's made by Elgin Company and was sold by Sears and Roebuck.
Like the cormorant who stands with his wings up, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That's why he does it, I guess, drying his armpits. Well, anyway, this is, as you could see, where our kids sleep and where they stay all week. And they have 2 sailing lessons a day. They go into the seaport and study history. They climb this rigging. They help our squad with demonstrations. You have to be 10 to 15-year-old, and you have to be a boy or a girl. There's the training house behind us, and the little boats are what they go out in. We don't go out in this at all. This is a dormitory, a learning ship, which it's been ever since 1882. That's what it was built for in Copenhagen, Denmark, and it's still doing what it was built for. And the guy who really started it was Friedrich Steya. He lost his young son at 19. And in his memory, he built this vessel and established a foundation. Now that was 1882. That money is still training kids in Copenhagen. I mean, imagine how big that must have been, and it must be earning money. I want to know what he's doing to invest. What is he investing in? It's really great. But anyway, he trained, his money trained over there in 52 years, 4,000 boys who went into the merchant marine and became officers. And so he bought a bigger ship, and this one was sat in the harbor. Nobody wanted it. And this Australian came along looking for a little schooner. And you know, like when you go to buy something and you see something better and you think, how could I get that? You know, could I make payments? So he bought this big square rigger instead of a little schooner. And he found 30 boys, which was not easy to find. Boys in England did not want to go around the world. Can you imagine? So he found 30 boys and took them around the world twice, and in all the Pacific Islands, and then he wrote a book about it. So any of you kids who read The Cruise of the Conrad by Alan Villiers, it's a great book. And now you've been on the boat, you know, it would be fun to read it on the ship, I should say, because it is a ship. And then he ran out of money, the Australian, and the millionaire Huntington Hartford bought it, and he gave it to the U.S. government when war was imminent. And we used it as a trainer in Florida, and after the war, by an act of Congress, these vessels could be given to nonprofit organizations. So Harry Truman offered it to Mystic Seaport. He said, but you gotta keep the tradition going of training kids. And that's why we have sailing camp. We have scouts who do overnights. We have class from schools who come for one night, sometimes 2. And then in the seaport, they study what they're studying in school. Nice training house behind us. So they have a really good week. They go home tomorrow, and a new group will come in Sunday. This vessel is all teakwood, and it's made of Swedish iron. So just the 2 elements there that it's made of. Those are for, they're just like skylights. I don't know why they don't have the air vents up. You have to do it from down below, but wouldn't you think you'd have the air coming in? They're air vents and skylights. So they raise up from down below.
So you spent money to make like
a wheel.
stained glass there.
Yeah, that's it.
And what we would make here are things like door locks for a whaleboat. There's no weapon right over here. Jib hanks for sails on, various shackles and things like that. And of course, last but not least, the harpoons.
Oh, that's the book you're talking about.
I don't think it's the same one, but.
Oh, well, it says available in the bookstore.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much.
All right, keep cool.
You can.
Right.
Harpoons.
Everybody's favorite. The whale.
Yeah. Thank you.
How often would you have to do that? Every day?
I'm not sure. Not sure how long we've been working.
Yeah. Yeah. I think pop-ups.
Yeah, put on the railroad. One fellow said that he had a watch, and he said, as long as I wear it, I don't have to wind it, just the movement on my hand.
Yeah.
He said if I put it down on my table for 2 or 3 days, it stops.
What are these?
These are parallel rulers.
Okay.
Yeah, those can be used when you're using a map. For instance, say your boat was here, okay, and you want to go north. Well, this is a rose, and this is north, south, so you set this right on that line. Then you move this over to your boat, and then you could draw a line, and that's north.
Okay.
You can even walk this over. Oops, I'm too low. I have to do this from here. So that's north, south, and then I can move this. See how I'm moving?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
This- That's sort of interesting little.
That's pretty cool, Dad. Thank you.
Sure. So the whale oil is for oiling these watches, oiling chronometers, very accurate clocks. This didn't come from the blubber of the whale, it came from the head of the sperm whale. The blubber is for oiling machinery, big, huge wheels in the factories. So we don't kill whales anymore, so this is not replaceable. So this compass would be above the captain's bed. You'd want to make sure the ship was going in the right direction. So these clocks in the boxes, those are called chronometers. They were invented in 1763 by John Harrison. It took them 30 years to perfect the clock, so it was accurate enough. So they finally now could determine their longitude. So it's probably not obvious how a clock can tell you distance, is it? It's not obvious. But you know California is 3 hours difference than here. It's about 3,000 miles to California. So every hour is 1,000 miles. So if you set your chronometer to London time and you sail west toward New York, in a few days you can take your sextant and check to see when the sun is the highest in the sky. Okay, the sun's going to go up and it's going to go down. When it's the highest in the sky, we call that noon. And then we look at the chronometer. If there's an hour difference, we've gone 1,000 miles. So it's a little bit of an oversimplification because the 1,000 miles works at the equator because it's 24,000 miles approximately, and 24 into 24,000 is 1,000. But up here where we are, 41 degrees latitude, it wouldn't be 1,000 miles, it would be maybe 851.2 miles. But charts tell you at your latitude what that hour difference represents in terms of distance. Of course, with GPS today, hardly anyone uses the chronometer, but it's good to have it as a backup.
That's right.
So where are you all visiting from?
Vestal, New York.
Oh, that's a place where I have a lamp, an oil lamp made there.
Oh.
That's what they did back in the probably 1870s, 1880s. One of those, you know, kerosene.
Uh-huh.
Says Vestal, New York on it.
Really?
So you didn't know that they made lamps like that there?
No.
It's been a while ago.
Yeah.
The people in the museum down there would be interested in that though, because I don't know if they're even aware of it, although they might be.
Yeah.
Because we have a museum down there.
Right. So now what big city are you near? Like
Binghamton.
Binghamton, yeah. Yep. I had a sister who lived in Binghamton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
how's-
tell people that Vestal's a suburb of.
Right. But then he taught at Cornell.
which is nearby.
Yeah.
It's about 40 miles north.
Yeah, Kevin originally lived in Ithaca when he got out of college. He lives in Shelton now.
Cornell. Yeah, I think it's Cornell. Right. Yeah.
One of my favorite pictures I got at a flea market. It shows a house in Albany County, New York, so somewhere around Albany, and it has this big house, and the father and the mother and the two sons, just like your sons. Are these your sons?
Yeah.
And they're standing next to their prized possession, and that's the wagon and the 4 horses. You know, so they had the 2 horses to take to the market. Then maybe the next day they could take the other 2 horses, and that was their transportation.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. I love that picture. It just takes you back to when there were no cars,
Yeah.
no horseless carriages.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
It wasn't available as an individual item in the thing. So we would a first mate from a whaleboat would come in, and whaleboat would have docked in New London, brought its oil back, half the crew leave, and would need additional people. And they'd come to a print shop and something would be printed up. Now, the most of the ones that I see like that also have a boat on it, a whaleboat. And that would be further identification for people, what the job might entail in the thing. So I've got a little bit too much ink all over the place today, because I took this out and ink oozing. But I'm going to end up printing on this press. I'm going to print 500 of these, and I should be able to do that today if I ever get started. And a little bit too much ink, and that means for this point, I'm not going to pile too many up. Now, this is the Liberty Press 1861. And a good printer should be able to print as many as 800 impressions an hour on this press. I'm going to put these over.
Had to do it two-handed. Arg, arg. It's like blue water.
I remember all the dog.
The seals don't mind that. Well, you know, it's jumping in the water. Hi.
How are we doing today?
All right, thanks. Actually seeing my viewfinder here. Yeah. Ooh. Well, you wouldn't confuse him with a mermaid.
Yeah, and one of the things was for kind of
You want to go to the marsh trick?
Eat about 25 pounds of fish a day. Another thing you may notice about these guys is that they have pink over their eyes, and that's to help store heat. Another thing they may do when they're hot is pant like dogs would. And if you have any questions, my name's Emma. I'm under the blue umbrella. I'd be happy to answer them for you, and please enjoy the rest of your day.
The ones that are collect, you're just a little white stripe within the legs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this guy here shows it.
Yeah.
Not just a baby. This one is a little girl.
£25 of fish per day.
Let's do a break this summer. So here we have Jetty, who is 4 years old, and Boomerang, who is 6 years old. And both of them were rescued from California, considered non-releasable and brought here to the aquarium.
How old were they when they arrived here?
Just pups.
Just pups? Oh.
Not even a year.
So they've grown quite a bit since they came in.
Oh yeah. So have right here is yep. Yeah, both when they were just born. A lot of times what happens with our seals and sea lions that come here, at least with our seals that we rescue, we have our seal rescue clinic, and what happens is the seals they are either injured or abandoned by their dog that they're with. So, sometimes they're abandoned because they are injured and the mother kind of gives up a little bit. So we bring them here and we help to get them back to full health. We try to do it with at least with as little human interaction as possible. When they're pups, it's a little bit easier because we can adjust them to kind of move by themselves. And we make sure that before we release them that they can eat without any help from us to get the fish. And then we send them back within just a few weeks, if not about a month, back to the open oceans. That way they have very limited amount of time left. And they can survive quite well on their own. We do keep track of the seals that come in. So what happens with some of our seals that if they restrand themselves, like say 2 or 3 times within like a few months, there's obviously something wrong with that seal and they would not be able to survive by themselves in the open ocean. So that's the only time that we would take them in and keep them at a place like an aquarium. So that's what happened with these guys, and also with our stellar sea lion Astro. They just keep coming back to land, and that's really not a good behavior that we want for them. But we have a really good clinic, and obviously, these guys came to us from California, so we're happy to have them.
Hey, winter in California? No, I'm just teasing.
I'd rather be in California right now. It's cooler there than it is here.
Yeah. Fishy, fishy, fishy. Yeah, I got a few action shots. The glass curves. Hi there, fishies. Wow. So now you're all leaving, huh? Yeah, you're not. Stick around, there's an electric eel that wants to see you. Ooh, I think I got some zebrafish. Yeah, she's got stripes. Zebra.
Oh my. Safety information to cover with all of you. First, there are 6 emergency exits in this room. The first one is all the way to your far left, over my right. That's the entrance room used to get into the theater. The second one is in the alcove on the corner of the bleachers. The third one is at the top of the stairs, up there by Deb. The fourth one is at the other set of stairs, up by Peter. The fifth one is in the alcove to your right. And the last exit is the only exit we'll ask you to use as you leave the theater, all the way to your far right. Please remain seated throughout the entire show. When exiting the theater, please make sure to use the appropriate aisle stairs. And when you leave the theater, please do not lean on or over the pool railing. And that's for the health and safety of our inmates. Thank you for your attention and cooperation. Now sit back, don't forget to take a deep breath, and enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Foxwoods Marine Theater. Please put your hands together for your sea lion trainer for today's show, Kristen Waddell.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the final show today. We're very excited to have you with us because we're going to have some fun learning about California sea lions. Today we're going to learn about some of the differences between sea lions and seals, how well adapted they are for a life in the open ocean, and even how they're helping out researchers at the United States Navy. But before we do get into that, I want to introduce you to the stars of our show. Let's see if we can meet them. Now, the first sea lion you're going to meet, well, he's hard to miss. He's sitting here center stage, over 700 pounds. His name is Coco. He's definitely large and in charge. Let's see if we can give him a great big round of applause. Sitting next to Coco is Surfer. He's 22 years old. He weighs in over 400 pounds. He's definitely got a lot of energy. seals. A lot of people get them confused, but they are pretty different. So today, I'm going to give you some tips. Hopefully, you'll be able to tell which one is which. First off, though, if you look at the big screens, you're going to find a picture of a harbor seal. Now, what you'll notice about him is he has very short front flippers. But if you compare his to the ones of our sea lions, you'll find sea lions have longer flippers. Coco is completely ignoring me. He's even shutting his eyes so he doesn't have to look. All right, you know what? Seals and sea lions, they do use their flippers very differently, especially when it comes to swimming. A sea lion uses its powerful front flippers in an up and down wing-like motion, and that pulls it through the water. So we're going to see if maybe Kelly can help us out. She's going to show us just what it looks like when a sea lion swims across the pool. It's a great show for you guys. Let's see if she can do it. That's actually not it at all. There's an amazing porpoise from Callie. However, she's supposed to show you what it looks like when a sea lion speed swims across the pool. So we're going to see if we can try this with Surfer. He's generally pretty good at it. Let's see if he can show you what it looks like. Here we go. There we go. Speed of up to 25 miles an hour, only using those front flippers. But if you watch the seals swim, it would look pretty different. You see, they use their hind flippers. So what they do is they move them from side to side, and that pushes the seal through the water. So they have different size flippers. Use them differently in the water, and they use them differently on land. Looking at our sea lions, they all sit upright. They support their body weight on those big front flippers. But one thing you may not know is they have a rotating hip bone, and that allows them to actually stand on all fours. Now, it's very important that sea lions can do this because they're found off the coasts of California, Washington, Oregon, even the Galapagos Islands. These shores are very rocky, so that means sea lions, they need to be good at climbing. There we go. Now, what makes them such good climbers is the mobility that's found in those big front flippers. Everybody watch Surfer. Hop. Good. If we did have a seal up here, there's no way you'd be able to move like a sea lion. Again, short front flippers, they also lack a rotating hip bone. So the only thing a seal does on land, well, it kind of flops along on its belly. So the next time you're trying to figure out if you were looking at a sea lion or a seal, think about the size of those animals' flippers and how he's moving on land and in the water. You'll be able to tell which one is which. Now we're talking about how perfectly adapted sea lions are for their environment because they're excellent hunters. One reason is because they have an extremely flexible neck. It's so flexible, they can even touch their nose all the way to their spines. Just watch Sakari. That flexible neck, it'll come in handy because they'll swim through schools of thousands of fish, stretch out that neck, and can catch one from any angle around their body. But once they have a fish, they have to hold on to it. So they have a powerful tooth and jaw structure that's similar to a bear's. It is a big mouth filled with big sharp teeth. And we're going to see if all of our sea lions can show you how ferocious their teeth are, especially little Sakari, who's going to be out on the floating island. This is a brand new behavior for her. Let's see if she can turn and face all of you. Now you may need a bit of a closer look, so if you check out the big screens, you're going to find the inside of Coco's mouth. He definitely has a lot of teeth in there, but even though he has them, he doesn't use any for chewing because sea lions swallow their fish down whole in one big gulp. And with that, you know what? We're going to have a little fun right now because our sea lions have all been trained to hold a fish until the trainers clap. But once we clap, you're going to see just how quickly that fish disappears. All right, we're going to see if we can get Coco and Surfer involved in this one. I can find the whole fish for Surfer. We're gonna see if we can give a big, juicy squid to Coco. Oh no, this is pretty tempting. Right, he's got it. Surfer, however, already ate his fish. So focus your eyes on Coco. He's got a squid. Here we go. As soon as I clap. Oh. Good. All right, well that happened pretty quickly, right? You guys want to give Surfer another shot? Yeah. Yeah, let's give him a chance. And this time, we're going to see if we can get all of you involved. Because when I give him a fish, I'm going to count to 3. You guys all clap your hands together one time. We're going to fake a clap here on stage. Let's see if he eats the fish for you or if he waits for his trainer. Now, he is supposed to wait for me. We'll see how he does. He's headed out to that floating island with it, so you can keep a very close eye on him. Let's see if he makes it out there. He has it, so warm up your hands. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. He is still holding on to that fish. Can he wait for me? Good. Now by now, I'm sure you all realize just how intelligent sea lions are. In fact, recent studies have shown they're one of the most intelligent of all marine mammals because they have the ability to use logic and recognition. Well, we wanted to highlight this, so what we did was we trained our sea lions to recognize shapes. So I'm going to hang some shapes here on the back wall. We're going to see if we can call our sea lions down and ask them to find their shape. It's going to be mixed up amongst 5 others. We're going to see if we can start off with little Callie. She is going to be looking for a whale tail. Let's see if she can find it. No problem. How about the big guy? Coco needs to find a triangle. Can you do it? Sicari's shape is the fish. And Surfer, he needs to find a star. Good. He gets very excited when he finds that star. So what my good friend Julie's going to do right now is we want to prove to you that these sea lions really can recognize. Did you just break the shape? She just broke poor Callie's whale tail, so apparently she's not going to prove to you she can recognize. But we're going to see if we can mix up our other shapes. That never happens in the show. All right, we're going to mix them up. We want you guys to really be able to see that sea lions can recognize. So hopefully they'll be in a new spot. We're going to call some of them back down and have them find that shape for you one more time. Looks like we have Surfer and Coco shapes, so we're going to see if we can start off with Surfer and have him find the star. Good, nice job. How about Safari? Where is that fish? Excellent. And the big guy. Where's the triangle? Good. Now finding a shape on the back wall, that's just the beginning. You see, for over 40 years now, California sea lions, they've been helping the United States Navy find and recover lost equipment from the bottom of the ocean. It's pretty impressive work. Yeah, I'm going to have some video footage. Everybody take a look. Now here we are, we're training out in San Diego Bay, California with the United States Navy. In just a minute, that trainer is going to hand the sea lion a tool. It's designed with a hook and a rope attached. He's going to take it and dive, sometimes hundreds of feet. Once he locates that equipment, you'll see he'll attach the hook and even pull it back and forth just to make sure it's secure. And the Navy staff simply pulls the equipment out by the rope. Now, it's not just because of their intelligence that they work with the Navy, it's also because they're very agile. And that means that they move well on land and in the water. So let's have some fun. We're going to wrap up our show highlighting the agility of our sea lions. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. to stay behind the yellow line. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.